Welcome to the Boring But Paid channel. Nothing flashy happens here. That's kind of the point. Today we're talking about working out and money, and why people who move their body consistently usually end up doing better financially over time. Not because of discipline hacks or mindset tricks, but because of how humans actually work. At first glance, these two things don't seem connected. Working out feels like a health thing. Money feels like a work thing. Most people keep them separate. But if you look closer, the same problems that mess with someone's consistency in the gym usually mess with their money too. So let's warm this up. Think about how most people approach effort. They can handle it for a while. They start strong. They get into something new, but once it stops feeling interesting, once it gets repetitive or uncomfortable, their effort drops. Not all at once, just enough to stall progress. That pattern doesn't just show up with fitness, it shows up with saving money, learning skills, building a business, or sticking with a job long enough to grow. The issue usually isn't knowledge, it's tolerance. Working out puts you face to face with that tolerance problem almost immediately. You're doing something that doesn't entertain you, it doesn't reward you right away, and it doesn't care how motivated you feel. You still have to finish the workout if you wanted to. That experience alone starts changing how you deal with effort. The first thing working out improves is how you think under stress. Stress isn't just mental, it lives in your body. When your body is tense all the time, your thinking gets short. You start reacting instead of deciding. That's where most bad money decisions come from. Rushing, overcommitting, spending, or quitting just to feel relief. When you work out regularly, stress has somewhere to go. You burn it off physically. Afterward, your body settles. Your breathing slows down. Your thoughts don't pile up as fast. That calm shows up in money decisions. You don't panic over slow weeks. You don't jump into things just because you're uncomfortable. You can pause and actually think. That alone saves and makes money over time. The next thing working out teaches is follow through. In the gym, you don't get to negotiate with yourself for an hour. You go, you do the work, you leave. Some days feel good, some don't. Either way, the work gets done. That builds a habit of completion. Money depends on completion. Finishing tasks, following up, staying with things even when they feel dull. People who struggle financially often don't fail because they can't work hard. They fail because they stop too early. Working out makes staying feel normal. Another big lesson is patience. Your body teaches you this whether you want it to or not. Progress in the gym takes time. You don't wake up different after 1 week. You see small changes over months. That changes your expectations. A lot of people abandon money plans because they expect progress to feel exciting. They think if something's working, it should feel obvious. Working out shows you that real progress usually feels quiet while it's happening. That lesson transfers when money moves slow. You don't assume it's broken. You keep showing up. You let effort stack. That's how things actually grow. Now let's talk about energy, because this one matters more than people admit. Money takes energy. Not hype energy, real energy. The kind that lets you focus, think, and finish things without burning out halfway through. When your body feels weak or sluggish, your mind follows. Tasks feel heavier than they should. You procrastinate not because you're lazy, but because you're drained. Working out raises your baseline energy. Your body feels more capable. Your mind stays online longer. That means more work actually gets done. More completed work usually leads to more money. Here's one of the harder truths. If pressure overwhelms you at a low level, money won't fix that. It makes it worse. Money brings responsibility, deadlines, decisions, people depending on you. Working out trains your body to handle pressure without shutting down. Literally, you carry weight, you breathe through it, you keep moving. That experience transfers into life. Work stress feels manageable instead of personal. Problems feel solvable instead of threatening. That steadiness is a huge advantage financially. Another thing that sneaks up on you is self-trust. Every time you work out, you keep a promise to yourself. You said you'd go, you went. Over time, that adds up. You start believing yourself. That changes how you deal with money. You don't underprice yourself as much. You don't agree to things just to avoid discomfort. You don't need to over-explain. you move slower and cleaner. People respond to that. Now let's be clear about something. Working out doesn't give you ideas. It doesn't give you opportunities. It doesn't magically improve your income. What it does is make you harder to knock off track. You stay with boring work longer. You think clearer under stress. You don't quit just because something feels uncomfortable. That combination matters more than any tactic over time. Those traits compound. That's why people who work out consistently often do better financially. Not because the gym is special, because it builds tolerance, patience, and follow-through. Those things support money whether you're aware of it or not. So if you're trying to make more money, and everything feels harder than it should, the answer isn't always another strategy. Sometimes it's about building capacity first. Working out is one of the simplest ways to do that. That's what we're breaking down here, the boring stuff that actually adds up if you stay with it. That's it.